Today we're going to talk about gear that I really think you should bring on a trip to Havasupai Falls, especially the gear that I was not able to bring, either because my backpack was in Texas and never made it to where I was, or because I just didn't have it to begin with. So the first thing, which I did have with me because I hiked all the way down, is a backpack, a really good backpack. Now, one reason I say to take a backpack is because I saw several people who had put their gear on the mules. They had packed in duffel bags. And you have to remember, when you pack in a duffel bag, that's fine for the mules, but if you have to carry your bag half a mile to where you're going to camp, it gets a little awkward. So if you have a backpack, pack in a backpack, it's going to be a little bit more convenient than a duffel bag if you're sending your gear down on a mule. Obviously, if you're hiking in, you're going to want a nice backpack, and the lighter, the better. And of course, having a backpack that comes with a little day pack in it is awesome, which is what this Gregory does. Now, the second thing that you're definitely going to want to have is a water bladder. Water bladders make it really easy to stay hydrated while you're hiking, because you can just put it in your backpack and suck. You don't have to actually stop and get your Nalgene out or your water bottle out and drink that way. Definitely get a water bladder. The third item I wish I had, I did not have on this trip, and I really wish I had, was running gaiters. Running gaiters are these little gaiters that go around your ankle and on your sneaker or your hiking boot, and they keep the stones from falling in, and they just help keep the dust and everything like that outside of your shoe. This trail has a lot of little stones, a lot of little rocks, a lot of sand, and we were constantly stopping to get sand or rock out of our shoes. And part of the time we just gave up. As long as the rock wasn't in or the sand wasn't in a super uncomfortable spot, we just kept on going. But if we had gaiters, then it would help that problem. Now, our fourth item that I really wish I had, that I did not have, and I still don't own, is water shoes. But if I was to go back to Havasupai Falls, I would definitely get water shoes. Water shoes makes all the difference when you're enjoying the waterfalls. There's lots of little rocks, and even the rocks that are smooth are pokey from all the minerals that are encrusting on the rocks. So it's not very comfortable to walk around barefoot. I brought flip-flops thinking, oh, that will work, but it doesn't really work as a water shoe. They work great for walking around camp, and I'd recommend bringing flip-flops too, but they do not work well as water shoes. One thing I did notice for people who had hiked in Chacos or Tiva kind of sandals, that those straps get wet, and when they do get wet, they rub quite a bit. So if you're going to hike in Chacos or Tivas or something like that, just remember that they're going to get wet and they're going to rub on your feet. And if you're not used to that, then you might want to wear a sock to help protect your skin a bit. Or if you just have those regular water shoes that you can get at Walmart, you'll probably be fine and not get too many blisters. Fifth item that I wish we had was some sort of blister care. Both my friend Becky and I got blisters on our way down to the falls and our 10 mile hike down. And Becky got such bad blisters, she ended up having to pop it, and we really didn't have, so her foot would fit in her shoe. We didn't really have any good blister prevention or blister care after she popped her blister. All we had was some glue. So if we had some of the blister tape or Band-Aids specifically for blisters, all of that would have been it would have been very helpful for our trip. And the next item that I wish we had goes along with blister care is I wish we had a emergency kit. When you think about, oh, there's so many people there, what could happen if you're going to have an emergency? Well, if you think about it, you are 2 miles away from a town, which is 8 miles away from a road. And yes, there is a helicopter, but if you're in trouble, it's going to take a long time to get out to get to a hospital. And so just having a basic emergency kit that has your medicine in it, or band-aids and bandages, a wrap in case you sprain something, or even a little tourniquet in case you cut yourself really bad. All those things could help keep you safe until you could get to an actual hospital or something like that. Of course, the best thing is not to get into an accident. And the last item I wish I had brought with me is a sun shirt. It's very sunny, very hot, and it's great to put on sunscreen to protect yourself, but having a shirt that you could just get wet with and keep you cool while you're hiking, and long sleeves so it protects your skin, would have been nice. Now, maybe you're super tan. I live in Alaska, and so my skin is super white. If you come from a place like maybe Florida, it's not nearly as important because your skin is really used to the sun. I really wish I had though, a nice long sleeve shirt that had that UV protection and protected me from the sun. Those are all the items that I think were really essential. Of course, like, you're going to bring your sleeping bag and your pad, unless you're sleeping in a hammock, which is one thing I also wish I had brought, but it's not really essential. I got by without a hammock. Of course, it really would have been nice. And so you're going to want to bring that, and your stove and your food and all that gear. Just so you know, like, there is a store, but it's 2 miles away, so it's kind of a long ways to walk to get yourself your meal or anything like that. There is fried bread by the waterfall, but again, you're not going to want to live for 3 days on fried bread. Most importantly, make sure that whatever you're bringing with you, you're also able to bring back out. Don't leave your stuff down there. That's the most important thing. Whatever you're going to take, make sure you take it back out. Let's leave no trace. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you pack for your next trip to Havasupai Falls. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. If you like the video, subscribe.